Richard Majewski, and welcome to another edition of Take 10. Take 10 is a service department, corporate housing and global mobility podcast where we seek to offer insights based on informal chat and icebreaker questions to get to know the guests a little better, and followed by a summary of the guest's business so that you can examine potential collaboration. So without further ado, let's meet today's guest. Hi,
Hey.
Kishen. Welcome to you. So thanks for coming on Take 10 today. Over to you for introduction.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for having me, Richard. Hi everyone. My name is Kishen Patel. I'm currently the guest partner relationship manager at my property host. I've been in the service department industry 13 years and counting, working kind of across both operators and agencies. And very excited to be here today to kind of share an insight into my property host and me in an informal fashion.
Fabulous. Thank you, Kishen. Yeah, exactly. I'm very excited actually to hear more about the company. Beyond the fun that we'll have with the icebreakers, it's just an indication of the ever changing kind of vista of the short-term rental service accommodation sector, however you choose to term it, really. And even the terms change, don't they? In 13 years, wow.
Yeah, long time. It's
oh, you're getting old, Kishen.
enjoying every second of it. So yeah.
Exactly. All right, so we'll get ready for the icebreakers.
Yeah, let's do it.
Good stuff. Shot in the dark with this one. Total shot in the dark and very frivolous. City or United?
Neither. I'm a big Liverpool fan. So
what fan?
Liverpool.
Ah, okay. So you're not even a football fan. Actually, I wish I could say that, but having won the Premiership, I can't even make that joke.
Yeah.
How
so
annoying.
for me, it's LFC all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a throwback to a company where you once worked, where you had to support Liverpool, presumably?
that it helped. It helped. So yeah.
Brilliant.
Looking forward to the Premiership season starting. So it's not too long to go either. So
no, it's not exactly, and we're all enjoying, or at least enjoying. I don't know if it is a word. The women's Euros at the moment. It's quite tortuous. I thought watching England play was difficult, but
yeah, I managed to catch some of that yesterday. Incredible game, and bring on the final on Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. Sat down on Sunday. It's a bit like pulling teeth, though, isn't it? You kind of like, it's so extended pain.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, another topic: petrol or electric cars. Constantly kind of controversial these days, but
yeah, I've been a petrol man my whole life, until recently. Actually, I had an incident on Thursday on the M1 where my car decided to break down pretty late, and it was due to something to do with the petrol. Not me filling up the wrong fuel, but it was something the mechanic said due to petrol. So I think my next car potentially could be electric. It seems to be the way kind of going forward. I mean, there's been a lot of chat about it, pros and cons on it. But yeah, potentially for now, petrol. In the future, possibly electric.
Yeah, it's the replacing of the batteries, I think, isn't it? That's the daunting one. You'll see some absolutely fantastic prices on second-hand hybrids and electric, and it's because the battery alone is going to cost twice the price of the car itself.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's but once you start, is it listed, whatever goes into those batteries anyway. But yeah, that needs to get cheaper. Then you start mining that all over the place. Forgot the country where it was. I was watching a documentary the other day on it.
Right.
Saving money, well, you'd be spending money if you get the electric. Saving money or spending money? What kind of excites you most?
Bit of a spender, in all honesty. I mean, you try to save when you can, but you've got to enjoy. So yeah, spend within your means is kind of how I go always my motto.
Absolutely, that's a must, isn't it? But Amazon doesn't help, does it? Because you can shop any day, any time of the day. And I find myself getting into with like withdrawal symptoms if there isn't a knock at the door with another delivery. Or I wish you could hear the knock at the door. Usually, you open the front door and there's something in the front, that could have got stolen a million
Yeah,
times by people passing by.
exactly.
Yeah, that's the um, arriving late or arriving early. Whether it be social well, no, let's not call it business because that wouldn't be good. But arriving late or arriving early or arriving late, what would you tend to do?
Arriving early. Yeah, always arrive early. I think it's something that's kind of been drummed into me from being in the industry, working in sales, in business development. I think there's nothing worse than kind of potentially turning up to a meeting or someone that you're trying to pitch, impress, and arriving
Yeah.
late. It just leaves a bit of a
Oh no,
bad
that'd be bad.
impression. So,
Yeah.
yeah, always plan ahead and try be as early as possible. So,
Interesting. That's good. Yeah, that's great. That's great discipline. I've never been able to do that. I'm really chuffed if I'm on the tube and I'm going to arrive on time
yeah.
because usually I'm kind of like lining up the excuses in my mind. Um, Arriving couch potato or fitness fiend?
Oh, fitness. I'm massively into my fitness. Although, yeah, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy a bit of couch time. But yeah, I'm pretty active. Football once a week, gym a couple of times a week, the odd run. So yeah, definitely fitness since a young age. Kind of loved my sports. So
Yeah,
yeah, fitness
yeah.
is definitely a big tick.
I mean, that's a funny one, really, when you say since my young age. And I mean, it's the same. I don't do enough exercise, that's for sure, and especially now. And I'm over the age where things start, falling off and falling apart. But nevertheless, I think back to the school and school sports, which you arguably hate at the time, but
Yeah,
have done you so much good in later as you go through life. And I mean, I know that you're younger, of course, but for me, then I look back and I think, yeah, maybe it was a good idea that they instill in you the discipline for those sports,
yeah.
and
I think
and
you take a lot from sports. I think there's the discipline side. There's
mm,
obviously the health element of it as well. Um,
100%.
so yeah, no, definitely fitness for me.
And like you say, really, and then going on from that with the football that you mentioned, and I'm sure that's just good fun as well, when you're talking
Exactly. It's
about
something
that.
it's something you're doing. It's something you're enjoying. It's a bit of health, bit of cardio at the same time, bit of a sweat. So yeah, I guess it has its elements.
You mentioned cardio, and my son's over back in the country now, and I was
Mhm.
having a long chat with him yesterday. I won't mention brand names, I guess, not that there's any reason not to, but one of those kind of like watches that you can wear.
Yeah.
I was staggered at what you can, at the details of that. That almost, the sleep, absolutely. Well, you'll know yourself, and it almost introduces another level of anxiety into a world where there is too much anxiety anyway.
No,
Um,
that's very true.
you know,
These apps, these trackers, sometimes yeah, you can get so into it because it's giving you data which is wanting you to kind of believe in, and
yeah,
then yeah,
yeah,
you're kind of following that to make sure you're ticking those boxes. Am I getting enough sleep?
yeah,
Am I getting enough steps within the day, or whatever it
yeah,
may be? So yeah,
yeah, exactly. Quality of sleep. Oh, I was staggered. I was absolutely staggered. It's far too much data.
yeah,
um, last question, I think. And it's something that I often wonder about, and it's because of my age. I'm constantly referring to my age, aren't I? But whether I'm missing out on something here when I see people with their headphones, music, podcasts, or audiobooks. What do you tend to go for, or not at all?
podcasts are growing on me. In all honesty, audiobooks. It's never kind of really been my thing. I think there's just
Yeah,
nothing like an actual physical book. So
yeah,
yeah, I'll have to go for headphones. I think it's
right,
just something I've always done. Bit of
yeah,
music. It's what
yeah,
kind of helps me in terms of depending what it is, whether it's during a workout, whether it's to relax, or whether it's
yeah,
to just kind of have a bit of
yeah.
noise other than something else. So yeah, I go for
Mm,
headphones and kind of music playing through the headphones.
yeah. Moonwalking down the along the platform at Earl's Court was you, was it?
Yeah,
um,
exactly.
but yeah, I think I somehow think I'm missing out on the audiobook thing, funnily enough, because I am an absolutely terrible reader. And I sometimes think that there's a degree of dyslexia in there somewhere, although it's never been diagnosed. And I'm just such a slow reader. And audiobooks, so that's the thought of that is attractive right now. But I need to buy a pair of headphones
Yeah,
first. I
yeah,
haven't got headphones. So
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, they are popular audiobooks. A lot of friends, family, they're always on the audiobooks, and kind of sometimes feel a bit left out in certain discussions. But yeah, I,
yeah,
I I do my reading. It's mainly on my phone through the apps now, things like that. But yeah, the audiobooks are definitely
yeah.
becoming popular.
Are they? Yeah, yeah. Ah, interesting. Good. So, giving me some food for thought as well there.
Good.
So Kishan, thank you for being brave enough to take part in the icebreakers. Over to you, please, because I'd love to hear more about my property host. I'm really
Yeah,
excited to hear more.
no, definitely. So I joined a year and a half ago now, so not too long ago. And I suppose there's kind of two sides to the business. We've got the property management side, where we kind of work with landlords, pretty well-known developers, private investors, and also homeowners, in where we kind of manage their property exclusively on their behalf. We've then kind of got the booking side to the business, where we work with several corporates, service department agencies, kind of direct companies, direct corporates, and we basically assist them with their housing kind of relocation requirements. So in one of our apartments, and we've got an ever-growing list. I think at the moment we're probably just shy of. It's quite a staggering number, actually, about 1,000 apartments which we manage across between 60 to 70 locations within the UK, and they vary. They vary from kind of major cities to kind of much smaller hubs, and even such remote locations. And as I mentioned, it's an ever-growing list. It's something that we do quite actively kind of look at data, kind of do a lot of research, look at where the demand is, and secure suitable apartments for where we feel there's that kind of need. More so in my role for kind of the corporates. So yeah, that's what we
Okay,
kind of do in a nutshell.
interesting.
So yeah.
Yeah, interesting. So yeah, you kind of like touched on one of my questions there, really, which was the corporates, because do you then cover all markets, as in contractor, corporate, leisure,
Exactly.
insurance, all of
Yeah.
everything?
So our properties vary in terms of, I don't know if we were to give them a star rating. So we've got some properties where, kind of based on my experience, I wouldn't put a corporate in unless we're kind of telling them the truth. The contractor market, where budgets may be a bit lower, a bit tighter. They just need somewhere to crash, something clean and tidy. So we've got kind of those units as well.
Mm.
And yeah, locations wise, as I mentioned, we're up to about 70 locations in the UK. So yeah, we cover the locations pretty well.
Right. And so I imagine, major cities, that would spring to mind, let's say the top eight or so. And then
Mhm.
you also go into towns and rural locations for the leisure
Yeah,
market, or not so much that?
we do touch on them. So we've got major cities. You've got your Birmingham, your Manchesters, your Leeds, your Liverpools. Then we kind of have slightly remoter ones. You've got your Wokings. You kind of got your Ashfords, where there's bits and bobs going on. So yeah, we're all over. I think we've just taken a
Mm.
property in a fairly remote area of Wales, for example, which kind of, yeah, I guess would attract kind of the potential leisure market a bit more. We've had kind of cottages on our portfolio in the past as well. So yeah, we cover a wide range, and it
Yeah.
works, which is good.
Right. I'm intrigued with Wales. And it's a big ask for when I ask with those number of units and locations,
Mhm.
and indeed pronunciations here. Can you? Where is it in Wales, if you can remember or pronounce the
I
name?
One, I definitely can't pronounce it, and probably that's one of the reasons why I can't actually remember
All
exactly.
right,
Um,
we'll let you off the hook immediately
yeah,
with this. Then I was because unless it springs to mind, because I was just thinking that the progression of Wrexham FC and what's happening there seems to be kind of like stirring up quite a lot of activity in that
yeah.
northeast of Wales area.
Well, that's the site
So,
we actually have. Sorry, so Wrexham is one that we have. So we've got a
oh,
building.
really?
Yeah, so we've got a building, a couple of units in Wrexham, that does
Right.
very well. So yeah,
Yeah.
Wrexham's also an area that we cover.
Yeah, yeah, interesting. And it's funny how one sector will lead to development in others. In ours, of course, because we follow where there is activity, don't we? In the accommodation market. The and so with that range of kind of markets,
Mhm.
um, it, I'm guessing it's a mixture of houses and apartments, or do you only do apartments? Or
So I would say 90% are predominantly apartments, and
oh
I'd
wow,
say
really?
about 10% is houses. So yeah, the
Right,
predominantly are apartments. So out of that 1,000 I mentioned, the
yeah,
majority are apartments that we
interesting.
fully manage. So yeah, you can imagine operationally we're pretty big, and I think that's where our
Yeah,
CEO Raj kind of developed the company, kind of ground upwards operationally. Because when we've got those kind of numbers, if we're getting things operationally wrong, then everything else is not going to really fall into place.
yeah,
So we've
yeah.
got site managers, we've got regional managers, all of our check-ins are meet and greet. So we've got hosts, dedicated hosts based at each site. So when it comes to check-ins, any kind of issues, they can be kind of dealt with pretty swiftly, which is good.
Interesting. Yeah, and I suppose that is one of those where you'll get some people prefer, say not prefer. Some operators would argue meet and greet works. Would argue that the guests can turn up at any time, and then you've got the
Yeah,
key, the lockbox kind of thing. I guess both it would be ideal.
yeah,
But yeah, for me, I don't think there's a substitute for meet and greet really, because when you're staring at a lockbox and it either won't open or you've opened it and there's no key inside, then
hmm,
and it's 12 o'clock at night, you know,
exactly, exactly.
then
I
it's
just try to put
mm,
myself in someone's shoes. If I'm a corporate on a secondment, potentially first time in, let's say, Wrexham, because we were talking about Wrexham earlier.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like actually having there someone face to face. It just, I guess, just makes you feel a bit more at ease that you're actually physically meeting someone rather than in the back of your
yeah,
mind, oh, I'm gonna have to check in, like, well, in case I can't find this lockbox, if the codes
yeah,
don't work or whatever it may be. So yeah, I'm a big fan of meet and greet. I just think
yeah,
it takes away the
yeah.
stress of that corporate traveller that's potentially coming to
100%.
the UK for the
And you can
first.
establish early that relationship and everything as well.
Exactly.
Gauge what their needs might be.
Yeah.
I totally, totally agree.
Yeah.
If there are operators of their own kind of, let's for want of a better, well, let's say short-term rentals,
Hmm.
watching, um, and a couple of questions that would be of interest to them. I'm guessing
Hmm.
commission. I think that's 15% plus VAT. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah. So I think that's our kind of standard. I don't think
Yeah.
anything's kind of set in stone as such. It's always up for negotiation. But yeah, kind of that's the kind of the initial benchmark,
Yeah.
15%. Yeah.
Okay.
So
And insurance, because I saw on your website that insurance is involved, but I'm guessing it's as management. So in other words, so you wouldn't say my property, let's say, if I had a
sure.
property. So my
Yeah.
property insured, you don't take on the annual insurance as such. It's insured during the time of your bookings. Is that right?
Yeah, correct. So we would ensure that part, and then we'll kind of do our kind of due diligence on the or whoever's property or whoever the developer is to make sure they've got their insurance in place in order for us to make sure we're managing it all correctly.
Yeah. No, exactly. All right, no, that's fantastic. I think that's clarified, a lot of the aspects for me, really. In terms of those people who are watching,
Mhm.
so if we wind down now slowly,
Sure.
are there any messages that you'd like to say to them on how they begin working with you?
Yeah, I think just firstly, obviously, please get in touch. Do get in touch. Like I said, there are two sides of the business. So the hyperlink of mypropertyhost.com, which I can see is there. So that's probably our client-facing side. So that's more if you're interested in kind of releasing your property, building units to us to kind of manage. And then, like I said, as I mentioned, we've got the booking side, which is my role, where we work with the majority of the service department agents and basically assisting them with their requirements and housing them in the apartments that we manage. So yeah, there's two sides to it. But yeah, feel free to get in
Yeah,
touch. Our website is pretty brief. We've got a team that kind of look after different areas. Johnny Grant, who's our head of partnerships, will be more than happy to kind of have a chat and see what potentials we can work with. So yeah, no, definitely reach out if there's if you feel any questions, or you feel there's kind of a mutual potential connection, then reach out and we can take it from there.
Fantastic. Thanks, Kishen. Actually, and this is the danger of giving me time to think of more, because I've got another question. Is it the relationship? Is it exclusive, or then if my property, I'm with you, but what happens during the times when you may not be placing bookings there?
So so we would exclusively manage it on your behalf. In a nutshell, would exclusively manage it. We'll deal with everything. You just sit back and hopefully look at your bank account every month, every week, and hopefully there's some money in there from bookings that we've put in there. So yeah.
What an attractive message to finish
Exactly.
this podcast. Brilliant. Well, don't go away, Kishen. But thank you very much indeed for your time today, and we'll see you shortly.
Sounds good.